everyone, I'm going to introduce my research proposal titled Algorithmic Amplification and Immediate Nostalgia in the Repeat Revival of Ritual Fashion Trends Among Young Women. I want to start with a very interesting phenomenon. In 2024, low-waisted jeans from the 1990s suddenly went viral on TikTok and sold out within 2 weeks in TikTok app. This made me realize that today's ritual fashion is not simply coming back. It's been rebuilt, reshaped, and amplified on short video platforms. So my research focuses on how ritual fashion styles can suddenly reappear and quickly become popular in the short video platform. Traditionally, fashion cycle theory suggests that it takes many years for a style to return. But on short video platforms, this time structure is clearly compressed. Microtrends now form and saturate within weeks. In Malaysia, young women are highly active users of these platforms and are strongly influenced by Korean and Chinese ritual fashion content. They don't just watch these trends, they imitate and reproduce them. Although this phenomenon is obvious, we still do not clearly understand why ritual styles can regain popularity so quickly. So, I found that there is a lack of explanation of how 3 key elements work together. First, platform visibility, then nostalgic viral aesthetics, and young women's imitation practices. Most studies discuss these 3 separately, but very few studies explain how they interact to accelerate the repeat revival of ritual fashion trends on short video platforms. This becomes the gap of my study. Based on this gap, my research has 3 research objectives. First, to explore how nostalgic viral elements are presented in ritual fashion videos on short video platforms. Second, to examine what observable platform patterns indicate that these videos are repeatedly amplified. Third, to understand how young women interpret, imitate, and reproduce these ritual styles in their daily platform use. This objective guides my research methodology and led to answer these research questions. From the literature, I found 3 directions. First, some studies show the digital platforms compress the traditional fashion cycle. Some studies on algorithmic culture explain how platforms amplify certain content and influence users' preferences. And media nostalgia studies explain why old styles can regain emotional attraction. However, these discussions are often separated. There is still a missing link in understanding how algorithmic visibility and nostalgic virals together make ritual fashion styles highly recognizable and imitable. Therefore, I combine 4 theories as my theoretical framework. Fashion cycle theory to understand time compression, algorithmic culture to explain platform visibility, media nostalgia to explain the emotional appeal of ritual videos, and the diffusion of innovations to understand how young women imitate and reproduce these styles in daily practice. This series guides how I analyze both platform content and user behavior. So, this study adopts a qualitative interpretivist design and combines viral content analysis and in-depth interviews, because I need to understand both the platform level and the user level of this phenomenon. For content analysis, I collect around 200 ritual fashion videos from the 3 platforms between 2023 and 2025. Using the hashtags such as Y2K fashion, I code nostalgic virals and interaction patterns to see how ritual styles gain repeated visibility. This answers the first research questions and the question 2. Then I interviewed 10 to 12 young women in Malaysia aged 18 to 25 who frequently imitate ritual fashion content. This helps me understand their interpretation and reproduction practice. This design follows me to explain phenomena from both structure and practice. The strength is that I can systematically observe patterns while also understanding users' meanings. The limitation is that the sample is small and non-random, and focused only on young women in Malaysia, aiming for deep understanding rather than generalization. Platform algorithms are inferred rather than directly observed. So in terms of scope, this study focuses only on young women aged 18 to 25 in Malaysia, as they are highly active platform users. The study focuses on online platform content and user interpretation, and does not involve offline consumption behavior. In terms of procedure, the research follows clear steps: collecting videos, conducting pilot coding, completing the full coding process, then carrying out interviews, and finally using semantic analysis to integrate the finding from both methods. In terms of ethics, all videos are from public platform, and interviews will follow informed consent and privacy protection. So in conclusion, this study does not see ritual fashion as a natural comeback. Instead, it explains it as a process shaped by algorithmic amplification, nostalgic aesthetics, and young women's daily imitation on short video platforms. This provides a new way to understand how fashion trends are conducted in the digital media environment. That's all of my presentation. Thank you for listening.